speaking mock test, and this is being taken at MK IELTS and Spoken English Institute. The candidate number is 0246359. The examiner is Dr. Manjinder Kaur Saini and examiner number is 5532521. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
My name is Dr. Manjinder. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is.
Alright, and how may I address you?
You may call me as Ekam.
Okay, Ekam, what do you do?
Ma'am, I am a student and I have recently completed my senior secondary education and now I am planning to pursue my higher education abroad.
Okay, may I see your ID please?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Alright, it's perfectly fine. Ekam, tell me which subjects did you opt for in your senior secondary education?
In my senior secondary education, I did my education in commerce stream because I have a keen interest in business management, so that's why I opted those subjects.
Okay, which out of these was your most favorite?
Out of these, my favorite subject was business studies because I want to enhance my business skills, so that's why I have a keen interest in it.
Okay, and tell me something about your hometown.
Ma'am, I am from Patiala. It is a big city which is situated in the northern part of India.
Okay, and is it a good place to live in?
Yeah, in my opinion, it is a good place to live in because it has all the basic amenities like good road construction, 24/7 emergency hospitals, shopping malls at a short distance from my home.
Alright. Is there anything about your hometown that you don't like?
Yeah, when it rains cats and dogs, our streets become flooded and that is the most uh, that is the most that is the most serious problem I think in my hometown.
Alright. What kind of accommodation do you live in?
Ma'am, I live in a double-story house. It has 3 bedrooms on a ground floor with attached bathrooms, and it has 2 bedrooms on the first floor.
Alright. Ekam, I'm going to ask some common questions about the food and meals. What is your most favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch or dinner? Why?
My favorite meal is breakfast because in this meal I eat a lot because all of my day is depend upon the meal, and uh, also the main reason why I like the meal is that my favorite cuisines are always in breakfast, so that's why I prefer to have a healthy breakfast.
Okay. How important do you think is to have 3 meals a day? Why?
In my opinion, it is vital for our health because if we want to maintain our health, then it should be mandatory for us to take all the 3 meals because by doing so we can eat all the necessary vitamins and minerals in our diet which help us to fight with diseases.
Alright. Who do you think enjoys cooking more? Older or younger people? Why?
In my perception, older people prefer to cook more because, first of all, they have a good experience in the field of cooking, and cooking requires a lot of patience, and it is generally seen that older people has a lot of patience in them as compared to the younger ones. So that's why they love to cook more.
Okay. How do you feel when you don't have your favorite meal to eat?
I felt sad because meal is vital for me, and if I don't get it, then I felt depressed, and all of my day goes in stress.
Okay. Do you think more people will eat more microwaved meals in the future?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because in the future they will have a hectic schedule. So for that reason, they should definitely eat that kind of food.
All right. So with this, your part 1 speaking is done. We are moving towards part 2, which is cue card round. So I'm going to give a cue card and you will have 1 minute to prepare on it and 2 minutes to speak. So you have this cue card. Describe the best holiday that you ever had. These are your pencil and paper. So you can make notes which you can refer to while you speak. So your time starts now. Alright, so now you have 2 minutes to speak on the topic and you can refer to the notes you have just prepared. Your time starts now.
Last year, when I was free from my studies, I went to a short trip to Goa with my friends. The main reason why we visited that place was that it is in my bucket list since long to visit Goa. So that's why we made a plan, and we reached Goa on air because we felt that it was quite convenient for us if we travel by air, because it was more comfortable than train or any other mode of transport. And we did various we did various adventure sports there, like uh, re- scuba diving, parasailing, etc. And we enjoyed a lot. We also explored various tourist attractions there, and the main reason why it was so memorable for me was that because in this trip I tasted seafood for the first time. I ate some prawns which were so delicious, and I also spent my time with my friends after long time. So that's why find that it was a memorable experience for me, and I can never forget that trip in my life.
Alright, thank you. May I have the cue card back? Now we'll move to part 3. So I'm going to ask general questions about holidays. Why do you think people go on a holiday?
In my opinion, people go on holidays to take a break from their hectic schedule, and after after going to holiday, they can rejuvenate them, and also they can spend some time with their family members, which is very important to strengthen our bond. Moreover, they can reduce their stress from their mind by taking a short break from their work. So that's why they they go for holiday.
Alright, how important is it for families to go on a holiday together?
In my perception, it is vital for families, because if they go on a holiday together, then they clear their problems and have a quality time together, and it is also necessary for strengthening the bond. And if and also last year I went on a short trip with my family to Shimla, and there we enjoyed a lot, and my family members were delighted because it was so long that we spent a time together. So that's why it is mandatory for everyone to go on a holiday with family.
Okay, why do some people go on holiday alone?
I think that there are some peoples who are who are of introvert kind, so that's why they prefer to go on holiday alone, and they do not find any kind of adventure if they go with others, and so for that reason they go on holiday alone.
Alright, What kind of holidays will be popular in the future?
uh, I think that in future the holiday, uh, in my opinion, I think that in future people will definitely go on holidays, uh, like if there is any kind of festival holiday, then they can definitely uh, then they can definitely go with their family.
All right. Is it better to take a holiday trip in your own country or in a foreign country?
I think that it is better to take a trip to a foreign country. Firstly, we can explore new culture and we can learn new experience by doing so. Moreover, we can inculcate moral values in ourselves by doing so, because we can learn from various peoples how to live a good life by doing some valuable tasks. Moreover, if we can go abroad on our holiday, then we can taste new cuisines, because in India there are some dishes which are not available. So that's why it is very important for us to go on a foreign trip.
All right. You just said that we learn something about culture if we have a trip in our own country. What kind of things do you think people learn about culture?
I think that if someone visit India, then he or she may opt some things which is belong to Indian culture, like traditional food of India, and also if we go abroad, then we should opt, or we may opt some of their culture, like we try some cuisines there, and we also make them in our country, and in that way we can explore new culture.
What problems can people have on a holiday in a foreign country?
There are various problems faced by people. uh, First and foremost, the language barrier. Some people do not communicate well in other language, so that's why they face difficulty in communication. Moreover, they find difficulties to reach their destination, because they are not familiar uh, with that place, and so that's why they hire a guide which help them to reach their destination on time.
All right. Uh, do you think there are other problems in language that people can have when they are on a foreign holiday trip?
Yeah, definitely. There are some people who do not like foreign food, and if they go on a trip in other country, they may face difficulty uh, to eat their own traditional food. So that's why some people avoid to go on a trip in foreign country.
Okay, since you are talking about holidays in other countries, um, how do you think a country can benefit from tourism?
Uh, there are many ways in which a country can benefit from tourism. First and foremost, if a tourist visit a country, then the revenue of country increases, which help the government to do various tasks in the welfarement of population of that country. Furthermore, local population get work if a tourist visit our place. By doing so, they can earn money and help their family to live a good life.
Okay. Do you think tourism also invites some kind of problems for a country?
Yeah, we can say that because there are some people from other countries which damage our public property, and by that a country may face very difficulties to save their public facilities. Apart from this, uh, tourists from other countries sometimes do illegal activities in the other country, which create a problem for the government to solve it. So that's why uh, government should set some restrictions on tourists in which they can manage the rules in our country.
Are your country people more interested to visit abroad or your own country?
No, I don't think so. They prefer to go abroad because, first of all, uh, they do not they do not want to spend hefty amounts on foreign trips. So that's why they uh, don't go on that kind of trips. Furthermore, in my country there are so many places uh, which are having breathtaking views, and for that reason people should prefer to go to that kind of places and explore the beauty of nature.
All right, thank you very much. With this, we come to the end of your part 3 of speaking test. And thank you. Have a nice day.
ठीक है.
All right. So, I would like to give feedback on your speaking now. First of all, I must tell you that you have a caliber of scoring better, right? But there are a few things that has restricted me to give you 6 bands as for now. The reason for that is, despite using good phrases and some of the good vocabulary items, despite using cohesive devices like first of all and things like that, there were a lot of grammatical errors committed, number one. Number two, repetition should be avoided. You are more into self-correction. So once you're speaking, you should not, rephrase your own saying, right? And I would tell you some of the things that I've noticed. When you talk about the past, take care of the tense. You said that you wanted to visit some place because that is in your bucket list, that was in your bucket list since long. One thing. Then you went there by ear, not on air, so prepositional errors. Okay. Then it was more comfortable, it's better to pronounce it comfortable, right? We also explore, we also explored. Use the second form of verb when we are talking about the past tense. Okay, sorry, when we are speaking in the past tense. Then there were very good structures and phrases used like hectic schedule and then other bucket list, mandatory, introvert. So a lot of good words, high vocabulary words were also used, but it would be better if you don't commit these kind of mistakes that I'm giving feedback on. So they can rejuvenate themselves. People can rejuvenate themselves because खुद को rejuvenate करें, okay? Then in my perception and these kind of linking devices and discourse markers were well used. Clear their problems, clarify their issues. They can spend time with one another, which is not possible in the day-to-day routine. So people, right? It's wrong to say peoples. Then people live a good life. Like you were telling something like this: if people visit their own country, they will be able to see how people live a good life. So for me, it was something that was directionless. By doing some valuable tasks, it was also something, in the other direction. Okay, if someone visit India, no, if someone visits India, so verb subject agreement should also be correct. Which belongs to, not which is belong to. Then tourists visit. You said tourist visit. Tourists plural, they visit a country. Then repetition of the words like in which. So this should be avoided. You have much potential to score better if you overcome these kind of problems. First of all, it was fine. Kind of trips. Acha, should. Okay, when you are asked a question in simple present tense, that what do people do? What do you think of this? Don't get into suggestions. The question is not what should the people do or should they take holiday. I asked you, do people have foreign trips, and you were suggesting like they should do. No, avoid that. Should is just when you have to give your own opinion for something, for suggesting something. So avoid this also, because at 2-3 places like we should try to, they should opt for. This was not required at all because the question was asked in simple present tense. So people do this. I think people do this because. Avoid using unnecessarily should. Right? So overall good, but you can do better. Definitely. Thank you.